Hello and welcome to another beautiful day on Oweleketv. This is Outnumbered live on your screen, reaching you live and direct from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Nigeria. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and I have Lovett and Michael right here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ramsey.
Good morning, Michael.
Good
Good morning,
Lovett.
Lovett.
Of Abuja. How are you doing this morning?
The Lord is good.
Quickly, let's take you to the headlines that we have for the day. The punches where I'm starting from. Above the header, Bure OT on collision cars over LP NWC tenor. Details region page 7. Then this one says external auditors to examine NNPC 2.6 trillion naira subsidy claim. The details read on page 20. And that takes me to the big story, which has a kicker that says flights of fancy. Governors slammed for wasting 160 billion naira on unviable airports. I take that again. The airports are not viable. And governors have been slammed for wasting 160 billion naira, on viable airports. One writer to that story, Nasarawa Yobe, of that, beg federal government to take over airports shunned by airlines. You can just pick a copy of the Punch newspaper and just go to page 19. You get that story. And this one says IG vows to rescue 2,149 kidnapped victims. And details of that is in page 10. We've heard of things like this severally. But then let's wait for when they will be released. I don't know. Leah has been in custody for over how many years? Leah Shaibo,
of Shakal.
Everyone probably have been released, but she's still there. I've not heard that she's been released. If the IGP does that, I think that would be a good one. But then
she became Shakal's wife. She can be.
Well, no one know. I didn't get to hear about that. I only heard that some of them were actually married to the terrorists. But then I don't know of Leah Shaibu, because she actually was kept in custody because she refused to denounce her faith. And that's one thing everybody is quiet about, which is not so good if we want to say we are in a country where there is freedom of religion. All right, Lagos conduct Red Lion rail test run today, and details on page 6, and that's going to be the size of the headlines from the Punch newspaper. If anyone interests you, pick a copy of the Punch newspaper and go through it for yourself. Over to you, Michael, for the next paper.
Thank you, Ramsey. Starting from the Vanguard today, the kicker I have on page 6 is #end bad governance. The federal government gets 17-point ultimatum. Away from that, insecurity is the kicker of the story. And the bloodshed. CAN, Sultan, urge federal government. And flooding is the kicker of this one on page 10 of the Vanguard. Death toll rises to 170, injured 2,000, displaced 205,000. Away from that, agony in Southeast. That's the big story on Vanguard. Agony in Southeast as kidnappers lay siege to communities. On page 5, we'll have about 5 writers to that story. Tales of horror from Lakpanta, Umunneochi area. Lilu Osumogo axis in Ihiala, now called Sambisa of the Southeast. Gun battles rage almost daily in Okigwe. Oil bunkers trigger insecurity in Oguta area. Gunmen launch attacks from forests in Osu, Oguta, Awomama. That is regrettable. Southeast is becoming Sambisa forest now. I particularly have a friend who is in that state, and he was like, I was interviewing one unknown government leader, and he beat his chest and told me that we have taken over Southeast. And not knowing that the man is a security personnel, he just laughed and kept. He said, I would have wasted him if not that I'm a Christian. I would have wasted him immediately. He's an Igbo man, senior security personnel. Like the man beat his chest and said, we unknown government, we've taken over the East in Enugu. And it's so belittling. It's flabbergasting to see that unknown government are doing that in Southeast right now. Federal government, please take note. Now, the last story I'll take on the Vanguard today, NWC rejects Governor Otis' move to convene elective NEC. Details on page 8. Do well to pick a copy of the Vanguard and enjoy the stories that interest you. Over to you, Lovett.
And then what I have here today is the Nation newspaper, and the first story here said Nigeria gets 10,000 Mpox vaccine doses. And the second one here said what Tinubu China trip means for Nigeria by presidency. And then the big story here talks about CDS coerce military won't give into anti-democratic cause. That is what I have for you here in the Nation newspaper today. Over to you, Mr. Ransom.
Thank you very much, Lovett. Let's quickly get to the Daily Times, which is going to be the last today. And I want to start with the big story. Insecurity is the kicker. Kaduna residents flee to urban centers as abduction rise in hinterland. Well, it's not just in the southeast. I think this is what's talking about because, like joke, it's extending from the north. Okay, and it's coming down a little bit. Kaduna has been on red alert for a very long time. I wonder why nothing has been done about this. If it is okay, maybe Coas can even relocate to Kaduna State and maybe make sure peace return to that state. Well, I just went right into that story. IGP urges citizens collaboration, and it is read on page 2. Please confirm arrest of 97 shites following killing of officers in Abuja. Then this one says a NAFDAC clears misconception about use of saccharin in bread production. Details read on page 5. So many things, because of the hardship, because of the cost of production. So many things have been done to consumables these days. The food, the things you buy from the supermarkets and everywhere, a lot, the quality of so many have been reduced. Despite the fact that the price is on the rise.
Not just the quality,
the quantity, the quality, everything reduced. Both the quality, both the quantity. I don't know, but then
I went to the market last week for fresh tomatoes. I saw the little one. The man say, that's 500. I was like, what?
Yeah, they will give you like 3 seeds or 4. 500. Or maybe 5 small ones, and they will tell you 500. Well, that's where we've gotten to. I don't know. The economy is, God help us, all right? President Tinubu scheduled to travel to China. Details read on page 2. Edo Goba INEC to conduct mock accreditation of voters. That's going to be September 10th. And details read on page 14. And that's going to be the size of the headlines from the Daily Times newspaper this morning. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we need to talk about the high level of insecurity in the country right now. Southeast, Kaduna State, these are the ones on the papers this morning. What about your location? How secured are you? We will return after this break.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleketv. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back from that break. It is still Outnumbered live on your screen, reaching you live on the red from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Nigeria. Let's talk about security a little bit. Ramsey, Lovett, and Michael, we are not security experts, but then we are so conversant as media people concerning everything, most of the things happening as far as security is concerned, because sometimes you just be where you are and you hear someone calling you. This is what is happening in this location, because the people feel as a media person, as a journalist, you have a voice and you have the link. You can talk to anyone at any time. That's what the citizens believe in. So we have a lot to talk about when it comes to security. Getting to the east. You remember while Michael was taking the paper, he said someone actually told him when he was interviewing someone from the east who claimed that these people have already taken over the East. And I was wondering, these are the kind of messages we get on a daily basis. But now let's talk about it. Beginning from Sambisa forest, just like joke, from Zamfara, from Jigawa, from the far north, gradually it's escalating into every part of the country. Kaduna State is not habitable anymore. People are running from the hinterland, from the communities, running to the city centers because they feel those places are safer. People can't go to the farm anymore. We still have all the chiefs intact. And the security operatives, we can't take it away. They are doing their best. They are trying what they can try. They are doing what they can do. But then, is their efforts good enough? And when it comes to the issue of security, Michael, it's not just to the security operatives alone. Individuals also have roles to play, because these people were being made to understand sometimes back that there are even people who are part of the community, all right, who have been conscientized for a particular reason, and they got into this, and they are doing it with the whole of their heart. Remember, the first time it was suicide bombing, and now it is terrorism, kidnapping and all sorts of. Despite the fact that the economy has deteriorated to a level where people are hungry and people are even scavenging now to feed in some parts of the country. And look at where we are today.
Now, it is not a matter of insecurity now. No week passes in the Southeast Zone. Remember, 5 states makes up Southeast Zone: Abia, Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi State, and Anambra. Yeah? No week passes without sad tales of kidnapping in the Southeast now. For over 3 years past. Now, let's be specific about Anambra State, where we have places like Ihiala, our mama, being referred to as Sambisa forest of the Southeast. When did that start? Now, Okigwe is now a place where there is gunshot every day. Communities in Lokmanta, Umuneochi is now seen as a village of the Eastern Sambisa. When did this start, my Eastern brothers? I'm from the East. So this is touching me personally because, let's talk about 2 years ago when I traveled to this place, Okigwe. I went to Ihube, is in Okigwe, to visit an in-law. And the next thing I was hearing is a friend was supposed to join me for this trip. He cancelled because few days prior to that travel, someone was kidnapped in the East. And the guy was like, how will I join you in convoy and there's kidnapping in the East for my younger sister's marriage? Cancelled on me. So I was bitter. I still traveled. God saw me through. I drove to that same Okigwe and came back. But what am I saying? The routine checks. We see military checkpoints everywhere. Routinely, they will check the cars in order. But then, the bushes and forests in these places, in Okigwe, Awon Mama, Ihiala, places in Owerri, like Abombise, people don't even travel every time again. I have a friend who is serving in Lagos. Security personnel, she was like, I don't even go to Owerri anymore because they are targeting security personnel. Let's talk about Abia State, where Governor Oti, he came into government, and then kudos to him. First year, he sent security operatives into these dens and ambushes, forests that people were afraid of going into, and they recovered cars, abandoned cars
in the forest.
Items recovered from people that were kidnapped. They saw 50 decomposing bodies. Oh my goodness. 20 scores. No, now, why? When did the Eastern part become like that? Decomposing bodies that, some people, remember, visitors and even those from the communities will be kidnapped. These people will make demands for ransom. Some will pay, probably by prayer or by miracle, they'll be released. Some will pay the ransom.
But they'll still get them killed.
Yes,
that's where the problem is. Some persons paid this ransom and they are still being killed.
It's so painful.
It's so painful. This is the same Nigeria that we have so much labored for. Some people are praying for this country on a daily basis, because so many things happening. You love it?
Let me say something quickly.
Yes, go ahead.
This issue of kidnapping in Southeast, at this point, I think that this is where governors should come in. They shouldn't leave anything for federal government. Governors should come in and do a little bit adjustments. They should deploy a lot of securities, because now people are living in constant fears in their various houses, and that is not how it's supposed to be. This thing includes rape. The rape is not only kidnapping, they rape, they kill, they steal, they do all sorts of lot of things. And then, in Southeast today, it's not only kidnapping. Every Monday they observe sit at home, and this sit at home, a lot of people came in. They call it an ongoing men, and a lot of things we don't even really know. You know
But the
what I
sit
mean?
at home is done by indigents.
Yeah, of course,
It's done by the Eastern people.
Yeah,
Yes,
the Eastern
By a
people.
faction.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Who
fact
feel
is,
aggrieved for particular reasons
there's
best
nothing
known
you
to
can
them.
do about it, because
That
once you
that
move,
actually
you are
started
not
when
safe.
they were protesting for the release of
Of
Nnamdi
Nnamdi
Kanu.
Kanu.
That's the
Yes.
proscribed people of Biafra. But then these Fulani people now that occupy
Occupy
the
it.
bushes and forests, headsmen, people that were carrying
one
cattle,
thing,
now occupied forests and begin and started
one
acting
thing-
like titans.
One thing is not clear. Let's get it straight. Sometimes because of this agitation, a lot of people are confused. Because of these people agitating, if they feel the more the insecurity in the eastern part, because we need to balance what we are saying right now. Because if we say the Fulani men, and we still have some people from the eastern part who are engaged in this kidnapping and this sit at home. Because I saw in one video, I can't just place it, where a security personnel was beaten, and the man said, "I am not taking your life because you are also from the east, but then resign and stop being a security operative for Nigeria." This thing has so deteriorated to this level. So sometimes when we say the security people, we are not just referring to the police. Everyone have to come in at
Even
this
the
very particular point in time. The vigilantes,
all localities.
there was
That's
an
what was talking
agitation.
about, that governors should make sure they place.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
local
why they
workers.
talked
They are not
about
using
they
this,
talked about the state police.
They're not using this sit at home to bring in a lot of things. I could remember when governor of Enugu State came in, that is Peter Amba. I think he deployed a lot of soldiers in all checking points when he wants to stop sit at home, because every Mondays a lot of non-government used to come and attack
The people sitting at home.
Yes, if you come outside, they'll attack you.
They'll attack
And then
you.
the man
Shit.
actually wants to stop the sit at home. Well, he now deployed a lot of securities, and whenever those non-government came into the city, they now fought them. But at a point, I think the security personnel, they left. Why? It doesn't mean anything.
Well,
so he wouldn't have allowed them. He would have continued it, and they kind of prevent the citizens, let me say the state, from being kidnapped.
But why would someone insist people must sit at home and the person is from the east? And I'm not. They have their reasons, but then putting your own people at risk, killing your own people when they come out
barbaric.
because you are agitating for something.
barbaric.
It's barbaric because we are one nation. We can't say it all right here. Just get to the comment section, drop your comments for us. Let's get to know how the security situation is in your own location.
Also
For
in
Kaduna State,
Kaduna State
people are already running from the hinterland to the city centers. I wonder what will happen when the city center gets crowded. Crime is going to increase, corruption, so many things, so many vices will come to play. So the federal government, everyone, the security chiefs, and of course, individuals also should play the necessary role to make sure security come to stay and insecurity give way for the economy to actually thrive in a time like this. My name is Ramsey, and of course, I thank you, love it. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
It's been a wonderful time. We'll come on your way again, and that's going to be tomorrow. Same time, same station. Bye-bye for now.